You may know Cuba for its colorful antique cars,
for its controversial political history,
for its famous sites, like the Siwa, El Malecón,
or its complicated economy.
But in this special report, we're showing you a different side of Cuba, a side overflowing with vibrant youth and creativity.
And we're taking you through the streets of Havana, deep into the island, to a town called Cienfuegos.
Join us as we explore these resourceful communities filled with hope for the future.
This is Cuba, Art and Soul.
But before we head to the next destination, we stopped in the capital of Cuba, Havana. Down the streets of Havana, you can find colorful murals, antique cars, and locals walking down the streets of their community. While we were walking there, we stopped at Proyecto Mariella. The project was established on January 21st, 2001 by 2 local artists. Here, teachers organize art workshops that include paintings, learning folk dance, and how to play instruments. Elizabeth Gamona Mena, a graphic design graduate from the University of Havana, says she is happy to be a part of Proyecto Mariella.
Bueno, no podía pedir algo mejor. Lo que ven aquí es las personas son muy humanas, se sienten bien con ayudar, hacen de todo por ver a las personas alrededor de ellos felices.
The group of artists transform Havana's community by adding beautiful artwork to the streets. The next stop we made was to Callejón de Amel. Callejón de Amel is a narrow alley filled with murals inspired by the Afro-Cuban community.
En toda esta mitología de antecedente africano que en Cuba está viva, o sea, son religiones llamadas en Cuba religiones, para otros brujería, magia negra, sistemas mágicos religiosos, pero para nosotros son religiones que son importantes, forman parte de nuestra idiosincrasia y por sobre todas las cosas forman parte de nuestras herramientas para enfrentar las crisis que tenemos aquí en Cuba.
To wrap up our trip in Havana, we stopped at Old Havana, the city center and one of the highest populated areas. Now, on to Cienfuegos.
Tus ojos sobre mí, aún puedo yo sentir, queriéndome expresar de tu alma la ansiedad.
I'm Nathaniel Rivas, and I love to travel. Family vacations and mission trips have taken me all over the world. I seek out new thrills and adventures, and I can't wait to show you what I found in Cuba.
Reprimir una lágrima en mí, que mis labios te busquen inútilmente.
Although famous for the big city of Havana, Cuba is more than meets the eye. Our journey begins in the small town of Cienfuegos, which is less than 3 hours away from Havana by car. Nicknamed the Pearl of the South, Cienfuegos has no shortage of architectural jewels and 19th century character. Our first stop is to the heart of the city, Parque José Martí. This park, which lies in the city's center, was named for Cuba's national hero, José Martí. Martí is a symbol of Cuba's revolution and is known for some of the best works of literature in Cuba. Judith Bermudez says the park is the must-see center of Cienfuegos.
This area is composed by different buildings which are surrounding the park. And here there are places that whenever you come to Cienfuegos, you cannot skip. So you have to visit these places, like where the center of the first kilometer of the city from which all the layouts of the city were designed.
Although Cienfuegos is almost 200 years old, the city has a modern look and feel and continues to evolve.
These chairs are over 100 years old, and people come to the José Martí Park to relax and meet with friends. But there's something new in this park. In the past couple years, people connect to Wi-Fi.
This city center has modern influences from Europe and the Americas. You'll see a reoccurring architectural theme of domes and arcs as we take you to different sites around the park. Our first city highlight is dramatically close to the city center. Teatro Teri is a famous landmark that has witnessed some of the finest acts to ever come to Cuba. Across the street sits one of the oldest buildings, the City Hall of Cienfuegos. Arguably holding the most significance of all is the historical cathedral. It stands in its own right with large stained glass windows and religious items. On our next stop, we take you less than 2 hours away to another UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is Trinidad. This town, located in central Cuba, is known for its colonial-style architecture and cobblestone streets. Its colorful colonial homes and large plazas tell a tale of wealth and prosperity. The neoclassical city center, Plaza Mayor, is eye-catching for its neoclassical design and botanical gardens. This historical town is full of artisans and many handmade gifts that represent the island. Trinidad has been preserved so well. Much like our next stop, their success is conservation and preservation. Overlooking the Cienfuegos Bay is the Castillo de Jagua, or Jagua Castle. Built between the years of 1733 and 1745, the fort stood to prevent pirates from entering the bay. The fort never fired a shot and was never attacked. Slaves from the city of Trinidad used local materials such as marine stones and resin from trees to create the fort. Tour guide Idalmis Rios says the fort remains important to Cuba.
De hecho, pertenece, es un símbolo, es un monumento nacional, pertenece a los monumentos nacionales de esta fortaleza en 1978. Sí, claro, es un símbolo.
Jagua Castle is the best preserved of 3 forts in Cuba. In 1998, the fort opened to the public as a museum. Restoration efforts began in 2014. The fort consists of cannons, living quarters, and a drawbridge. Rio says the fort is special, not only for the island, but for her personal life.
¿Y qué puedo decirle? Toda la etapa de mi vida aquí. Desde mi casa hasta aquí, todo el tiempo aquí. Claro que sí. Es muy fundamental en mi vida.
Back across the Bay of Cienfuegos stands the Bodega Palace. This palace is one of the reasons Cienfuegos gets its name as the South Pearl. Palacio del Valle at first glance looks like just another beautiful castle. But if you look close, you'll see that the luxurious building is filled with symbolism, from the 2 sphinx that guard the doors to a gazebo that looks towards the Cienfuegos Bay.
The majestic Del Valle Palace, designed by Pablo Donato Carbonell in the 19th century, enriches the landscape of Cienfuegos Bay with its eclectic architectural style.
Walking further down the Malecón connects you to the Paseo de Prado. It is the longest walkway in Cuba. The Prado runs from the Malecón all the way to the José Martí Park. Along the way is a side street called the Boulevard. This street fills up with people and different shops. At the end of the Prado lies the UNIAC Garden. Orlando García Martínez says the birds bring in good spirits.
Y por supuesto, nosotros siempre decimos que cuando están los pájaros y sobre todo vienen los zunzún a hacer sus nidos, es porque el espíritu de la paz está predominando en el espacio.
In the day, you can hear the nature and the calming presence. At night, bands come to play music and bring dancing to this garden. We hope you enjoyed the sights of Cuba, but coming up after the break, Sophia will show you how music and dance make up the soul of Cuba.
I'm Sophia Mackrides. I was a competitive dancer for most of my childhood. I also love to sing. I can't wait to dance and feel the rhythms of Cuba. Cuban music and dance is an important part of the heart and soul of the island. Mostly known for its salsa, flamenco, and mambo. But in 1926, a group called Los Naranjos opened a new chapter in the musical world, right here in Cienfuegos. Every Thursday here at UNIAC, Los Naranjos perform timeless Cuban music, better known as son. The band's name translates to the orange trees, referring to where they used to practice. One band member says his childhood passion is what pushed him to keep the traditional music alive.
Y otros que han fallecido, que para nosotros todos fueron una escuela, porque de ellos aprendimos lo que es nuestra música, nuestra tradición. Y actualmente esta tercera generación que ya pertenece a la misma, somos los encargados de defender la música tradicional cubana.
I got to speak with Simone Gonzalez, who grew up listening to the band and comes every week to watch them play.
El son tradicional. El son tradicional es una cosa clásica, muy bella, muy maravillosa. Es lo más sublime. Para bailar el son es lo más sublime para alegrar el corazón. El que lo dijo no se equivocó, Matamoros, no se equivocó.
Gonzalez told me that his heart is centered in Cuban music. This style of music continues to live on through younger generations, like this group of college students. From a festival at the University of Cienfuegos all the way to a competition in Havana, these three students won an award for a love song they wrote.
¿Cómo pudiera explicarte todo lo que siento en mi corazón? Y cuando te...
They go by Sabor a Cuba, which translates to Cuban flavor.
Como tal, tocamos casi que todos los géneros de la música, acorde a la agrupación, al formato que tenemos. Pero preferentemente nos gusta la música cubana, la salsa, el son, la música movida. Los boleros. También tocamos todos los géneros. Pero...
Music is much more than a hobby for these boys.
La música, no solo para nosotros, la música para el cubano es algo que es vida. El cubano sin música no vive.
Similar to Sabor a Cuba, a group of girls from Junco Sur are putting their own twist on traditional culture. The Limbranza dancers are preserving their Spanish legacy by mixing Cuban traditional rhythms with flamenco fusion. One of the dancers, Melanie Padron, even showed me a move. Girls from ages 5 to 18 don't only come to dance, but to grow.
La danza es la herramienta para transformar o modificar conductas de estas niñas. Puede ser conductas de ansiedad, de inhibición, de ser retraídas en las escuelas, en su medio, en su entorno.
The girls have to pass 3 different levels of dance before being able to dance for the company.
Pero al mismo tiempo es una emoción muy grande saber que gusta lo que están haciendo, que las personas, yo miro el rostro de las personas que están viéndolas y veo cómo sonríen y cómo lo disfrutan, y eso es una gran satisfacción para un padre.
They're not just becoming better dancers, they're becoming better people.
Es decir, que es un trabajo muy bonito, que todos los niños y niñas podamos ayudarlos a ser seres humanos mejores y tributen a la sociedad cubana.
Just a few miles away, another group of dancers are trying to keep a different type of culture alive. Project Marica started in 2015 with husband and wife Adrian and Marlaise Marin. Named Marica for the sounds of maracas, the goal of the project is to conserve dances from the Caribbean and indigenous cultures.
Veo el cambio de jóvenes de 17 años que ya son adultos con edad laboral, sin ninguna formación artística, y cómo yo he logrado transformarlos de bailadores a bailarines. Para mí es una satisfacción muy grande.
Marlaise teaches in a space with no mirrors or the typical makings of a dance studio. Dance mom Patricia Garcia feels the Marica opens doors for her child.
En estos momentos, si no fuera por este proyecto, a lo mejor mi niña no tuviera la oportunidad, como tienen otros niños, de no poder expresar, de no poder bailar, de no poder cumplir su sueño, que es ser bailarina.
I even got the chance to move it to the mambo.
2, 3, 4.
Some dancers come to the Marica to find themselves.
Me siento yo. Así le demuestro a las personas quién soy yo. A algunas personas no les gusta cómo bailo, otras sí, pero me siento cómodo bailando.
Now that you got to feel Cuba's beat, after the break, Khalil will take us through the art of Cienfuegos.
I'm Khalil Maycock, and I have a personal connection with the fine arts. Growing up, I was involved in musical theater and operas. Join me as I take you through Cuba's art scene. Now that you've seen the sights and sounds of Cienfuegos, it's time that I show you this town's artists. You'll see how they express themselves by showing their passion of the Cuban culture and showing their love for the people. The Graphic Society does both. Inside, there's a workshop that is home to Rafael Angel Caceres Valladres. Here, he creates art. One form of art he creates is lithographs. Valladres showed me the most important step of making lithographs. This machine applies pressure so the ink transfers to the paper to create this result. The art gallery also showcases artwork where artists express their beliefs, including politics. Along with creating art, Valladres says he feels like he has a responsibility to help his community. And just outside the door of his workshop is the responsibility he refers to, helping people with special needs. Caritas Cuba, a Catholic organization, and the Graphic Society help people with special needs learn life skills. This program has been here for 10 years.
Ellos cuando llegaron, los 6 primeros, estaban como muy rígidos, muy amarrados, no se comunicaban mucho. Eso fue cambiando poco a poco.
Valladres attributes this change to art. It's an activity the 19 special needs students create every Tuesday. Jennifer Delgado, a volunteer with the students, says their art is then used to promote an art show in the city.
O sea, la expresión de este programa que estamos hablando ahora, de que ellos participan todos los años. O sea, esa exposición fue en promoción a ese evento. O sea, es la exposición de ellos, de ese evento.
Students come here to be creative, but to also learn everyday life skills, such as buttoning up a shirt or going to the store to shop. Mariella Salas, coordinator of Caritas in Cienfuegos, says the program helps students learn independence.
Los ponemos a peinarse, a cepillarse los dientes, que ellos lo hacen, a amarrarse los zapatos, a adornarse las camisas, a coser. Hacen diferentes manualidades, muchas cosas hacen ellos en el taller.
Donations and artwork bought on site help fund this program. A short drive from the Graphic Society to the José Martí Park, you'll see Cathedral de la Purísima, which is not just a place of worship. It's also the other site where the students with special needs go to learn. At this location, the students are taught other life skills such as ironing and how to fold clothes. On this day, I joined the students while they strung yarn through the holes of animal cutouts. After leaving the cathedral and walking through the José Martí Park, you can see artists coming together to share and sell artwork. One artist is Israel Reyes Rosell. He uses wood to create his art, but collects this material from collapsed homes.
Uno le vienen ideas a la mente, ¿no? Y esas ideas trata de expresarlas, trata de sacarlas al exterior. Y la forma que yo tengo de expresar eso es a través de la madera. Por eso es que me gusta.
This is the third year artists have come to the Benny Moré Cultural Center for the Arts for this event. It is dedicated to a famous musician named Benny Moré, a figure who's very important to the Cuban culture.
Es un evento donde los artesanos intercambian artesanía que tiene que ver con nuestras tradiciones, con nuestra identidad.
The program offers a workshop for students of Cienfuegos to learn arts and crafts techniques. Osvaldo Gutierrez Lama is one of the artists who dedicates his time teaching children about art. For Lama, art is a spiritual escape.
Como artista, crear es muy importante para el espíritu, es lo más importante. Y tratamos de crear eso en los niños, de implicarlos en todo ese proceso también para que en un futuro sean más libres espiritualmente.
The workshop for the kids and the artisans is an introduction for next year, when the city has its 200th anniversary. Ramirez hopes to shine a light on Cienfuegos through these activities so they won't get lost. Steps away from the Benny Moré Cultural Center for the Arts is Annia Alonso's showroom. Alonso is a local artist, but her pieces have crossed international waters. In 2004, Alonso had an exhibition in Toronto, Canada. Some of Alonso's artwork are done in the style of calligraphy. Calligraphy is a collage of materials glued onto a surface, which can be cardboard or wood. Alonso says she likes this style because it is unique and challenging.
Because this technique is not made for many people. It's very hard for women, because the process is very long.
This tedious process can be seen in Alonso's piece called Café del Puerto, the meeting of two people representing the American and Cuban flag coming together to drink coffee. And speaking of coffee, Alonso uses that ingredient when designing her fans. If showrooms aren't your thing, but interacting with art is, I have the place for you. The Park of Sculptures. But this park has more than just figures.
Over the years, more and more Wi-Fi hotspots have popped up throughout Cuba, like this one in Cienfuegos called Park of Sculptures, where people come and get connected and enjoy art while sitting in the shade.
People have been coming to the park like these two since July of 2007, when the park opened. Locals and tourists can come to the park and enjoy one or all of the 17 sculptures designed by Cuban artists.
Cuando tenga la posibilidad nos reunimos un grupo de amistades y nos sentamos aquí a pasar un rato.
Each sculpture has a deeper meaning. Yadira Hernández, a tour guide, says the sculpture with hands symbolizes the people and unity.
They show how together precisely Cuban people are, and not Cuban people, how communicative we are and how eager we are to help each other.
And this is the culture of Cienfuegos. Many say that nature inspires art, and Christina Diaz takes us to places where nature shines a light on Cienfuegos.
I'm Christina Diaz, and I love traveling to new places to enjoy nature. Join me to learn more about sustainability initiatives in Cuba. Cienfuegos is a city full of art, music, and dance. But when paired with science, the influence can change a life. Before talking about the environment, we're going to visit a site full of innovation. Located inside the University of Cienfuegos is Método NeuroPoint, a community project that is providing children with developmental disabilities a chance to improve their five senses.
Primero que todo porque es un proyecto noble, es un proyecto humano que tiene en cuenta las potencialidades primero que todo y luego las necesidades de los niños.
This art isn't just beautiful. They use tools like this sensory wall to teach kids about colors and textures. Yaima Rodriguez is one of the teachers who helps children when they come to the lab.
El laboratorio desde el inicio, desde su inauguración, ha sido una fuente de expectativas para toda la comunidad científica y para la comunidad cienfueguera en general, puesto que aquí varias familias ponen, ¿no?, las esperanzas de un mejor desarrollo de sus hijos.
Not only does the project influence the community, it also has a place in Yaima's heart. Innovation is at the heart of the community, and just a couple miles away in the city is a sweet surprise. Nereida and Heriberto are one honey-loving couple. Back in 2004, they decided to take in a couple hundred new family members. Maripona bees.
Es como a un bebé que lo quieres y ves que progresa y quieres verlo más como avanza, aprender más.
But these aren't your typical bees. They don't have a stinger, so you can even hold them in your hands.
Su importancia, cómo ellas cuidan el medio ambiente y cómo nosotros debemos cuidarla a ellas.
Indigenous to the island, these bees are used for medicinal benefits as well as sustainability. The couple takes care of 30 beehives right in their backyard and are part of a group of Cienfuegos residents who are working to save the environment. Along with teaching me, they even let me taste the honey right from the hive.
Fui, como se dice, cogiéndolo como un amor, como una afición hacia esos animalitos.
After their first beehive, the fascination grew. But this all wouldn't have been possible without the help of Professor José Andrés Martínez.
El amor que todas las personas que la tienen le ponen a la práctica, a la conservación de la especie y el impacto tan grande que le hace a todas las personas, ya sean agricultores o no, dentro de la ciudad.
Curiosity turned to passion, and caring for these bees means more to them than just conservation.
Ustedes pueden ver que nosotros estamos aquí y ella está muy tranquila.
Now, how long will the couple take care of these animals?
Hasta que el universo nos diga.
While the community is working to preserve the environment inside of the city, others are outside in the home of over 2,000 species of plants. Here at the city's botanical garden, Roger Echevarria works to teach about and preserve these plants.
It's a very important place in our country. We do a lot of research in this area.
Americans and Cubans worked together to build this stone water tank in the 1920s as part of a Harvard research lab here in Cuba.
Also, we introduce in this place new species, new varieties of tropical plants, and that's the way we have to keep alive this tropical jewel in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. The famous banyan tree.
Roger enjoys when he has the opportunity to teach people about the plants and animals of the area. In the city of crystal blue waters, you'll want to make your way over to one of the many beaches. Here at the Playa Alegre, there once stood a famous dock. This quiet family beach is known for the macabi fish that live in the water.
And the community has a very strong relation with the ocean. So the ocean is very important for the economical activities of the community. So people fish and they collect things that come from the ocean.
So when you come to visit Cuba, make your way over to this beachside restaurant.
It's been an amazing experience getting to know the art and soul of this island.
We've taken you beyond politics and into the heart of Cuba.
Its art, culture, and music unites us with its people.
Thanks for joining us on this important journey. Until next time, this is Cuba, Art and Soul.